25 drivers, 16 nationalities, 3 champions, 1 world champion. Road to Indy TV.
On behalf of Cooper Tires and Anderson Promotions, drivers, start your elite engines.
And again, these beautiful engines coming to life. 280 horsepower, the PM18 Tatis chassis, all on Cooper Tires. Let's get ready to roll with Indy Pro 2000. We'll throw it back up to the booth and Eric Miller.
Thank you, Rob Howden. A fantastic afternoon on tap, race number 1 for Indy Pro 2000. Again, battery tender, Global Mazda MX-5 Cup autograph session happening from 1 o'clock to 1:30. David Hobbs, Burt Levy in the paddock shop signing autographs as well. Just wanted to pass those along for the final time throughout the afternoon. But we are ready to go racing this Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Road America with Indy Pro 2000. Fantastic qualifying session. Parker Thompson struggling for the last several events, finally coming through with a pole to start here, trying to make that pay off today. But he's going to have to battle Stingray Robb as well as Kyle Kirkwood and Daniel Frost right away at the start of this race. It's going to be a great battle on tap as the field begins to head out from pit lane. Mazda safety car on track here at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Great day on tap. 13 cars set to go for 15 laps in the Indy Pro 2000, presented by Cooper Tires. Cooper Tire Grand Prix of Road America. 69 degrees right now here in Wisconsin. All things considered, this is a beautiful summer day here in the state of Wisconsin. Don't get many days of blue sky and sunshine like that with 69 degrees. 103 degrees on the track. Low humidity level at 53%, about 14% humidity less than when we started our day this morning. So the humidity's kind of come down a little bit. Just an absolutely gorgeous day. Winds out of the east-southeast of 5 miles per hour. We just started for a great day. Weather forecast for tomorrow looking great for the morning as well as into the early start for the NTT IndyCar Series. It's going to be a great forecast for tomorrow. Looking forward to a great day of racing tomorrow as well. These cars, Indy Pro 2000 as well as the USF 2000 Championship, they'll race again tomorrow as well here at Road America. Race number 2 tomorrow, Sunday, at America's National Park of Speed for this Rev Group Grand Prix presented by AMR. An Indy Pro 2000 pace car up underneath the Corvette Bridge. And we'll head to the back half of the race course. And they will be coming to the green flag from the guest of Elite Engines, Dennis Arneson. Looking through the green flag. Please welcome again Dennis Arneson, a guest of Elite Engines, throwing today's green flag for the Indy Pro 2000, presented by Cooper Tires, the Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Road America, powered by Elite Engines. Had a couple of great green flags and checkered flags from our guests from Elite in the last race. We'll see that again, I'm sure. Dennis all set to go here on the starters bridge on the main Road America straightaway. Field now working their way through the carousel. You can kind of feel the anticipation build as we wait for Rob Howden to settle back in. But we were talking earlier about Parker Thompson, Stingray Robb in a battle on the front row. Parker Thompson struggling a little bit the last few rounds and finally putting together a solid qualifying effort, starting up front, kind of avoiding the middle of the pack scramble at the start is going to be critical. But Parker Thompson kind of finally just settling in and putting together some really good solid laps back to back in that qualifying session yesterday, and to put himself on pole for today's 15-lap Cooper Tires Grand Prix of Road America.
Yeah, the interesting thing, of course, about Parker Thompson and Able Motorsports, a brand new team, absolutely zero data coming into any event. They don't have that bank of knowledge they can go back to. They don't have that baseline. They take an educated guess, figure out what they can do to come to the track, and then build from there. Interesting this weekend, of course, for Able Motorsports, they have hired the veteran engineer and well-noted Tom Knapp to manage the program. He and Parker Thompson blending nicely, and they obviously have a pretty good car. Didn't quite have the speed to qualify on pole for race 2, but Parker looking to capitalize here. The drivers will work their way out of turn number 14 as we set to go racing now. Indy Pro 2000, second rung of this Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. And again, Thompson on the inside, Rob on the outside, working their way up the hill. It's going to be the drag race down to turn number 1. Let's hope they get through cleanly. Here they come again. As we said, we have one of our guests ready to throw the flag up here. Dennis Ardenson, I believe, is going to throw the flag. And we're underway. Green flag flying. Green, green, green. Tremendous start for Parker Thompson. A big move from the back as well for Daniel Frost from P4. Tucked the exclusive Autosport car to the inside. Call it 4-5 wide coming down into turn number 1. Do they get through cleanly? Had some contact there in USF 2000. A bit of dust up there. A couple drivers, yeah, there was contact for sure from someone. They're further back. Gonna pick up who that was. That's a slow car coming through. That's one of the exclusive Autosports cars. I'm not sure if that is Daniel Frost or Nikita Lastishkin. If it was Lastishkin, we'll see. He started a little further back. I think that Nikita, let's find out exactly where he started. I believe it was
Frost,
in
actually.
8th position. You think it was Daniel Frost? It is.
Frost.
Daniel Frost, who had made a pretty aggressive start. We'll see whether or not he continues through here. He had some trouble coming. I'm not sure if he's coming through 5 or if he's done over in 3. Daniel Frost, who had an issue at the very end of qualifying for race number 1, an incident coming through turn 7, very similar to what we just saw from Graham Rahal as he looped the car, dropping a wheel on the outside. He went around. Daniel Frost, I believe, out in turn number probably 3 at this point. We saw him coming down the hill, made it to 3. Based on one of our timing screens, it looks like he is stranded in 3. So again, Daniel Frost, who was coming off the victory at Lucas Oil Raceway, he will bring out the full course yellow. So indeed, we don't have the visual of it, but Daniel Frost in the number 68 machine off the track in turn number 3 likely. Wasn't able to get far enough off the racetrack. Damage to that car. Eric, in watching the opening corner, maybe we can see if they can give us a replay of that. It didn't seem to me like coming through turn number 1 there was any kind of an issue.
They were bottled up a little bit. A pretty aggressive start, but nothing out of the ordinary.
No. He did make a move to the inside, coming across the line, tried to get to the inside of I believe, Kirkwood. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see the replay, but nonetheless, we're probably not going to be able to pick much up. It could have been just more on the exit, but Daniel Frost, who again had the issue, looped the car, clockwise spin coming out of turn number 7 in the qualifying run yesterday afternoon, and made pretty significant contact with the concrete retaining wall on the right side of the track. Team did a great job getting the car back together and having him back out for qualifying this morning. But nonetheless, he is out here on the opening circuit in that number 68 machine, driver out of Singapore. Once the field does eventually get back around down to turn 3 on the monitors, we'll likely be able to see where he's stranded. But I'm sure that the track crew and the AMR safety crew out there to get him off the track safely and quickly so we can get back to green flag racing.
Looks like he's gone off to the grass.
Here's the shot coming down here of turn number 3. Can't see anything from this particular area.
It looks like it's just beyond, or just shy of the Sargento Bridge. And he pulled off the driver's left, it appears.
So again, whether it was a mechanical issue with the car itself or whether or not there was actual damage to the machine, that's it for Daniel Frost. He'll tumble to the tail of the field, the driver who came in here in 2nd in the points championship, so definitely a hurt for him. That said, Rasmus Lint, the driver who is the point leader, currently running in the 6th spot. We're going to see ourselves with a pretty good battle. Parker Thompson trying to fight his way back into this fight, this championship battle. And, we'll talk a bit about Parker Thompson when we have the opportunity, running for Able Motorsports. Worked his way into the road to Indy, coming out of karts with JDC Motorsports, battling for Rookie of the Year with a driver who would eventually be his teammate, Anthony Martin. Next year they would team up to run at Cape Motorsports. Martin with the championship, Parker coming up just short.
Just going to kind of break in from our race coverage here, Rob. Elio Castroneves is actually here today, signing autographs right now down at their corporate pad down between turns 5 and 6. So if you'd like autograph from Elio Castroneves down at the corporate pad, just got underway here at 1 o'clock.
I saw Elio earlier today. Great to always see him here. Just one of those smiling faces you love seeing in the NTT IndyCar paddock.
Something tells me as well, our good friend Michael Young has probably got something to do with this, but I see that Colton Herta has already had a tricycle accident over in the family fun zone.
Oh, no. All right, well, that's a bit of an issue. Yellow flag out there, too, probably. Again, Parker Thompson, who leads the way here, as I said, coming through USF 2000, and the kind of where I'm going with this is the fact that he's been charged with the task of building a bank of data for Able Motorsports. Their young driver, Jacob Abel's run a couple races this year, also running this weekend in an F3 event at another facility. He'll be going full-time next year in Indy Pro 2000. So the idea for Parker is, hey, come on in here, give us all the experience you have, let's work together, let's set our bank of data. We need the information so that when we get ready to race again in 2020 with Jacob and whoever else, we're going to have the data we need. And again, Parker up to the task for sure. They were able to win at St. Petersburg, as we said. A little bit of trouble. They didn't quite have it again. When you start with really no proven baseline, you don't know which way to go. They battled throughout the road course weekend during the IndyCar GP event at IMS, and Parker really kind of picked it up and drove it to a couple of top 5 finishes, which were pretty solid finishes for him. Same thing when they went to the oval. They just didn't have the right oval setup, didn't have the feel, and he just didn't have the pace. Dropped him down to essentially 3rd in points. Now, coming back to a track here, a little more comfortable with his facility. He's been good here. They bring Tom Knapp on to help in the engineering side. Obviously, it's paid off. Back to green as the drivers have gotten single file order. Parker Thompson will lead. The pace car ducking on off, and away we go right now. The two Juncos Racing drivers getting ready to battle it out for 5th and 6th. That's Stingray Robb and Rasmus Lint. They're battling for 5th and 6th right now. They're going to start tomorrow on the front row together. Rasmus on pole, Stingray in 2nd. We got a battle for the lead, and indeed Kyle Kirkwood's gone to the outside of Parker Thompson, new leader to 1. Kyle Kirkwood getting the start, the jump at the start. He went around the outside of Parker Thompson. Kirkwood, your champion from USF 2000 last year. Excellent job for him to grab that lead early. Question, can Parker Thompson come back now, Eric?
In this situation, maybe Parker's best choice right now, just kind of ride behind Kyle a little bit, just kind of let these tires settle in. Obviously, cool cycle a little bit, get a heat cycle with the green and then the yellow flag. So an obvious opportunity to maybe kind of save the tires, save these Coopers till the end.
I don't know. Watch it come up through turn 6 here. Ian Rodriguez and Moises de Oliveira are right there. He doesn't have any cushion to play with whatsoever. Kirkwood actually stretching out a little bit, but Moises de Oliveira and the D-Force Racing number 6 putting a ton of pressure here on Ian Rodriguez. It's the two Juncos cars, Stingray Robb and Rasmus Lint right behind. Philippe Dennis runs 7, and Nikita Lastishkin now in the 8th spot. 9th is Enders, 10th is Loomis. So Antonio Serravalle, they had some kind of an issue with the engine earlier today. They were not able to get it fixed. He is not taken to the track. Neither, I believe, has Charles Finelli. So 2 drivers not able to make the call here for race number 1 of the doubleheader in Indy Pro 2000.
Parker Thompson looked like he was kind of falling to the clutches of Rodriguez, but it's now started to create a little bit of a gap here as well.
There's a pass at Canada corner right there. I think that was Stingray Robb trying to make a move on De Oliveira. Couldn't pull the trigger, though, all the way to the inside in Canada corner, the right-hander at the end of the kettle bottoms.
It almost looked like he and his teammate, Lynn, may have made some contact on the exit of 12 as well.
No wonder. They were kind of dodging left and right. That's actually Lint now up into the 5th spot. Count Lint to 6th, Robb to 2nd. Kirkwood now with about 0.8 of a second on Parker Thompson. But Thompson with 0.6 on Rodriguez. That's probably going to be more important if Thompson gets some open track. Now again, Parker Thompson may also say to himself, I want this win, but a 2nd place finish wouldn't be the worst thing either. Again, he's here to bring the car home with no damage, to get as much information as they possibly can. And right now, Parker Thompson running in 2nd. If they finish where they are on the racetrack right now, he's going to be back with 12 points from Rasmus Lint. Still more to come, though, of course. Daniel Frost, who started this day in 2nd in points, will fall likely to 3rd in points now, currently in the 11th spot. Look at this fight further back. 2-3 wide coming out of turn number 5 up the hill.
3 wide into blind 6.
Yeah, close your eyes. That's Dennis and Loomis and Lastishkin, I think, going at it.
Patience, the better part of valor.
Oh, wow. Corey Enders is watching that happen in front of him right now. Nikita Lastishkin for Exclusive Auto Sports. Better qualifying run, qualified 4th for race number 2, currently in the 7th position. Watching that fight in front of him with Stingray Robb, and actually it was a fight at one point. It is no longer. Rasmus Lindt's been able to stretch away from Stingray. Now that we're into 4 laps, let's see what kind of times we're rolling out here now. That's, the drivers have been able to bring the tires up to temp. They've kind of settled into their positions. Rasmus Lindt, though, getting aggressive. He's already pulled up onto the wing of
De
Oliveira. Move to the inside.
De Oliveira shuts the door.
He does. Comes across the bow from left to right. Says no to Rasmus Lindt. De Oliveira holding on. Last time by, Kirkwood a full second faster than Parker Thompson. Wow. Let's see if Thompson can step it back up here. Always interesting for me to watch the way the lap times develop. Even when the drivers aren't in the middle of battles, you can watch them slowly close up. How is the platforming and the setup starting to develop? Kirkwood and Thompson both getting low into the 203s. A 203.4, new fast lap as Kirkwood goes purple, but Parker Thompson right there, 10th off. No, about a second the gap between first and second. Rodriguez doing a great job as well. He's been able to gap De Oliveira, who's got his hands full with the 2 Juncos cars. And in fact, De Oliveira backing Lindt up into Robb again.
Still about a second back to Parker Thompson. Kirkwood doing a nice job just kind of minding the gap right now.
I love it. If we're watching the video, look at this battle right now. This is just tremendous to watch. That is from De Oliveira in 4th back to, I believe, Loomis now, Jacob Loomis. So that's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All scrapping it out, nose to tail, essentially. And, of course, just in front of them, you've got Rasmus Lindt and Stingray Robb trying to put some pressure here on Moises De Oliveira. Obviously, folks, the program here, the Road to Indy, run by Anderson Promotions. Anderson Promotions, also the management crew and staff of the Battery Tender Global Mazda MX-5 Cup. They've got their autograph session going on right now in the MX-5 Cup tent from 1 o'clock to 1:30, right here in the start of the pits by the Victory Lane. Just head on over there from 1 to 1:30, all the drivers from the Battery Tender Global Mazda MX-5 Cup signing autographs right now. So if you're walking around the paddock, head on over and meet the drivers of MX-5. Finally, I believe we've got the move by. Indeed, Rasmus Lindt's been able to get by Moises De Oliveira, but that battle has allowed that top 3 to pull away. Indeed, they've got a pretty good gap. What's it back to? 3.5 seconds now. So indeed, front 3 drivers have checked out. Kyle Kirkwood again turning a quick lap of a 2:02.867. But this fight further back, I mean, everybody's together. From De Oliveira all the way back to Enders, essentially nose to tail. Here they are coming down the 3. Here's a move to the inside. Lostishkin in the number 90 exclusive Autosport had a big look to the inside of De Oliveira over in turn number 3. Nikita's going to make the move to the inside coming up the straightaway as well. They go under the Sargento Bridge into turn 5. Lostishkin trying to go after 5th. Does he get it? Here goes the top 3. Rasmus Lindt. Side by side, and indeed coming up the hill again. A little bit of touch coming up the hill. Lostishkin on the inside. He should be able to take the position, and I believe he does. Nikita Lostishkin now into 5th. No, he does not. From the outside coming up the hill, De Oliveira holds him off. This time Lostishkin on the outside, side by side through turn number 8. This is a scrap for 5th position. What a battle. I like this. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th right there. De Oliveira, Lostishkin, Robb, Loomis, Dennis, and Enders. These guys, what a race so far here in Indy Pro 2000. Lining them up. This has allowed that lead trio to pull away. Kirkwood, Thompson, and Rodriguez separated by just 2 seconds total. De Oliveira really tossing that car. You see him toss it in there to Canada corner, Eric. Had that thing rotated before even got to the turn in.
Not sure if that's a result of maybe a little bit of understeer and having to kind of trail break it in a little bit, try to open up the hand a little bit. But Stingray Robb running at 7th spot right now seems to be kind of struggling a little bit. Listishkin was really putting the pressure on, and they swapped spots a few times here on the front stretch, side by side. But it just looks like Rob is just not comfortable in that car right now.
It's almost like he's out of rhythm a little bit. You know what I mean? He's made a couple of moves. He's tried to get the car to stick, and I think they're all just getting held up a little bit here by Enders. I mean, rather by De Oliveira. De Oliveira does not want to give it up at all coming through turn number 1. I have a feeling that if Listishkin's able to get by, then it'll just be Rob next. I think Moises De Oliveira is doing whatever he can to hold everybody at bay.
But quite the gap between De Oliveira and Lintz. So Lintz certainly pulling away here as well. Fourth, really putting a gap on about 3 seconds between fourth to fifth.
Indeed, that's what it is. They're all held up behind De Oliveira. I honestly believe that you're going to see a pretty aggressive deep break and move into Listishkin pretty soon. That's what he's got to do. Again, he gets beside him. This time, De Oliveira getting a little weak on the side. He'll try to pinch down on Listishkin. Again, a bit of contact at 6. I think this time Listishkin potentially by. Still side by side. And I think, there's a grass run there.
Loomis got pushed off into the grass in 6.
So De Oliveira up the hill trying to hold off both Listishkin and Rob. They get by. Loomis tries to get by on the inside as well. And coming back across the racetrack, it looked like De Oliveira essentially pushing Loomis off a little bit. And again, there goes Listishkin. He's gone. De Oliveira was doing everything he could to hold back those guys. And once they're past, Listishkin, who's now into the 5th spot, stretching away. So Nikita Listishkin in the exclusive Autosports number 90 out of Los Angeles, California, up into the 5th spot. Rob follows him through to 6th. 7th now De Oliveira, 8th Loomis, 9th Dennis, and there's 10th place Corey Enders, all on top of each other. Such similar lap times. Everybody running in the low 205s in this battle. And that's it though. You know they're faster than 205s, but when you're in the middle of a fight like that, there's nothing much you can do.
Well, you're also driving a little bit more defensive line. You're not necessarily on a true racing line. You may be running in the middle of the road. You're kind of keeping your hands closed a little bit off of exit just to try to narrow the gap off of apex exit as well. So you're really trying to race the mirror just as much as you're racing the person in front of you.
There you go. Listishkin and Rob both down to 203s this last time by. As soon as they were able to get by De Oliveira, Loomis is going to try to be smart. Again, he's trying to gain information. His first year in the program. Don't want to throw away a good result. Don't want to damage the race car. We're trying to learn how to be in this. It's only a second event. It's a privateer effort out of a small 20-foot trailer in the back of the road to Indy paddock. Trying to see if he can't work his way up into 7th. Kyle Kirkwood, though, this is a race that he needs, and I guarantee you that because he is going to start on the pole for tomorrow's race. Kyle Kirkwood, the 28 for RP Motorsports Racing, trying to get that first win. Ran with Cape Motorsports last year, won the USF 2000 championship. Weren't sure where he was going to take the Mazda scholarship. Ended up with RP Motorsports, as I said, a team that's based in Italy, actually. They came over to run the Indy Pro 2000 last year. That's the second year in the series. And Kirkwood needed a win. He had some rough luck in both the races at St. Petersburg and Indianapolis. He ended up with opening lap wing damage that sent him down pit lane, and that's just been tough. Oh, there's contact. Big driver off coming down through the carousel. We got major contact coming through the carousel. We got gravel everywhere. Somebody hardcore off into the trap. See if we can go back there possibly. Driver off. You can see the dust still coming through the trap coming through. That could be De Oliveira. We're not quite sure. We got full course yellow coming in, trying to figure out who it is down there.
Yeah, I don't see De Oliveira at all.
The 6th of De Oliveira, if we look here, indeed, that's Moises De Oliveira. Like I said, folks, he was holding everybody off.
Well, he and Loomis was starting to kind of peak coming through 6, and then again peaked in 8. And again, we talk about just getting momentum out of 8. And if they were side by side on the carousel, it's real easy to get pushed wide as the car being overtaken. If you get stuck in the outside, it's very easy to make some wheel-to-wheel contact. You're in the marbles, as our good friend David Hobbs likes to say, clag. You get to the outside, and it's real easy to get sucked into that gravel trap.
And Eric, you mentioned it when we were talking about USF 2000. That carousel, it's not like it's a bank corner. It's an off bank. It's off camber. So you're coming through that corner. If someone gets in the back of you, or if you're trying to, like you said, you're a little further outside the line, pretty easy to lose the rear of that car. All I saw was a huge plume of, probably not smoke, most
gravel.
likely just the gravel getting kicked up into the air, the dust from the gravel as he went into the trap there. And he went well off the racetrack, Moises De Oliveira did.
Well, it's certainly past what we would call the apex rumble strips in the exit of 10, so probably a little bit closer to the straightaway portion just before the Henry Repeating Arms Bridge.
So more like coming out of the exit contact between the two drivers. Yeah, there's a shot there.
Would be on
that's
exit,
7. That's 6. That's 6. That's 7. When we get around to the carousel, good possibility we'll see some tracks. We may not see Moises de Oliveira, but we could get a chance to see the tracks off of the gravel. But again, regardless, full course yellow with now 6 laps remaining. Again, this race for the drivers in the Indy Pro 2000 category scheduled for 15 laps or 40 minutes. Still a lot of time on the clock. 8 laps down, 7 laps to go. If you look at your monitor, we're saying 9 laps here, but essentially still 7 laps to go. It'll be 6 when they come back around. There's a shot coming down through turn number 7. It's been a precarious part of the racetrack here this weekend. A couple drivers going off there, getting through the rumbles. Parker Thompson trying to see if he can't come back. Here's a shot coming out of turn number which is carousel, turn number 10.
Yeah, so
9 and 10 combo, right?
So the shot we're looking at right now is from 11, basically the king looking straight back towards the Henry Rifles Bridge, and you can see a little bit of flashing light in the distance to driver's left, right on the edge of the end of that gravel trap. So it's very likely that I don't want to speculate, but it's very likely that that at the very least, Loomis got into the marbles on the outside and just kind of got drawn into the grass a little bit, which then just kind of takes you into the gravel trap.
De Oliveira,
rather.
Or was it the side-by-side race?
Could very well be, but in that situation, De Oliveira with contact and off course over in turn 10.
Race control has a lot more access to cameras and replays than we do, so we'll leave it up to race control to see exactly what happened here. But nonetheless, the aftermath is this. Moises de Oliveira, who at one point was running in the 5th spot, but was really and truly holding everybody back because he was doing everything he could. But simply put, they were coming by. Nikita Listishkin was finally able to get by. Stingray Robb, it was Jacob Loomis he was battling with. Philippe Dennis and Corey Enders were right there as well. But with de Oliveira off into the gravel trap, Loomis moves up to 7th. Dennis goes to 8th. Enders to 9th. And really, how does this reset things? Does Parker Thompson have anything for Kyle Kirkwood now? It didn't appear to. Kirkwood's been turning amazing lap times. Can Rasmus Lint now potentially make a run at Rodriguez to get, I think, into that 3rd spot? So really it opens up the podium again for Rasmus Lint, kind of gives him another opportunity. Or does it help a driver like Nikita Listishkin? Because Listishkin has been showing great speed, qualified well for race 2. They're getting quicker throughout the weekend.
You know, I don't think the lead for Kirkwood's in danger here. I don't really think that Parker Thompson really has much for Kirkwood at all. But Listishkin, Lind, and Stingray now tied up 4th, 5th, 6th. That's the interesting battle. I think that's where you may see Listishkin and Lind have a little bit of a battle because they were being held up by De Oliveira there for a few laps. Now that Listishkin's right on Rasmus Lind gearbox, that may be the trend that we're going to see go fast.
And Nikita's hungry for a podium. I'm telling you this right now. He wants a podium here. He wants to show that he can run with these guys. He wants a podium. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of shaping up kind of nicely right now. Obviously, we look to see our drivers work their way through the Road to Indy. We want to see them get to the NTT IndyCar Series. Well, let's put it this way. Our first race of the Road to Indy, who wins? Scholarship winner, right? Hunter McElroy's got the Mazda Soul Red colors. He was our scholarship winner. Who's leading here right now? Scholarship winner. The champion from last year, Kyle Kirkwood. Who's on the pole for Indy Lights?
Scholarship.
Renus VK. So the Mazda scholarship winners, part of this Road to Indy scholarship program, right now, all 3 of the drivers who essentially won the scholarship to move forward, looking tremendously well. And of course, Pato O'Ward, not too bad here this weekend as well. I think he was top 10.
But it certainly proves the point of how fortunate the Road to Indy program has been.
No doubt.
For a lot of driving talent.
Well, it's what it's for. It's designed to get these drivers moving forward. The scholarships give them that opportunity to take the next step, whether it be from USF 2000 to Indy Pro, from Indy Pro to Indy Lights, or from Indy Lights, and of course into that limited program in the NTT IndyCar Series. We watched Kyle Kaiser move from Lights before. We watched Ed Jones, guys like Gabby Chavez, Spencer Piggott, guys that have moved forward and have represented the program so well. De Oliveira's car getting finally off the racetrack. We're going to go back. I'm going to say probably, if we're lucky, we could go back to green this time by. That would put us at what, 10 laps down, 5 laps still to go. But again, interesting to see the potential of having all of our scholarship drivers on the top step of the podium here. One's already done with Hunter McElroy. We're not done here yet with Kyle Kirkwood, because I guarantee you that Parker Thompson's going to throw everything he can at him. But the guys that have won scholarships, those reigning champions, excelling so far today here at Road America. Still lots of racing to come. This is only the second event of the 6 races within the Road to Indy here this weekend. 3 today, 3 tomorrow. We'll break the silence. Eric will say good morning. You guys pour a cup of coffee, and we'll go USF 2000 racing at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Worked pretty well for a qualifying session this morning. It was a dandy of a session, was it not?
We love qualifying, a lot of excitement. And that was actually Hunter McElroy, who won today, ended up doing a last lap run to grab the pole. Here they come again, out of 14. Yeah, indeed, folks, we're going to have ourselves a 5-lap dash. Away we go, back underway. Green, green,
Stingray
green.
Robb to the inside of Listishkin. Look to the inside, peek back in, and tuck back in behind.
Well, both Junko's cars, because you've got Lint right on the gearbox of Rodriguez, Robb on the gearbox of Listishkin. Here they come down into turn number 1.
Lint to third around Rodriguez, battling Thompson now.
The outside. He went around the outside.
Had to tuck back into third, though.
Wow. And no, that's Parker Thompson back to 4th. Rodriguez able to get by Thompson. Thompson goes to P4. Rodriguez up into 2nd. Lint goes to 3rd. So Ian Rodriguez attacking. Flip the script. Ian Rodriguez in the RP Motorsports car. RP Motorsport 1-2 in Kirkwood and Rodriguez. First time down into 5. They'll line him back up again. Listishkin trying to go after Parker Thompson coming up the hill. Nikita Listishkin going after Thompson. That's the car Thompson drove last year, the number 90. Exclusive Autosport machine. Thompson up on the wheel. Ooh, he's got the elbows up right now. Indeed he does. And there goes Stingray Robb around the outside. That was a deep move, trying to get the car to rotate. Listishkin still on the inside. Very luckily he didn't throw it off. That was laid on the brakes on the outside for Stingray Robb. He had that thing crossed up, trying to get it to rotate out of 8. All this chaos behind him. And Kyle Kirkwood saying, see you later. He's already out to probably about a 1.5 seconds, maybe more lead. His teammate Ian Rodriguez running in 2nd, little buffer. Rasmuth Lint running in 4th, would hold on to the point lead. This would put Parker Thompson back by about 16 markers. Still a good run for Parker, but P4, not what he wanted. No, actually, Rasmuth got around him. That's going to change things. It's going to be a bigger lead for Rasmuth now. Parker going back to 4th, did not get a good restart. Listishkin still holding on to 5th.
And speaking of which, Stingray Robb.
No, hey, hold on. Look at this. There's the issue right there. Sorry, you were right. Stingray Robb falling back, Eric. Go.
Yeah, Stingray Robb was just falling back. I just noticed that Loomis had got around him through Thunder Valley. He's back around Loomis, back to the 7th spot, but Stingray Robb with a little bit of a bobble in the backside.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Let's see if he's clean coming through turn number 1. He got back around Loomis. But yeah, he lost a spot to Philippe Dennis as well. So Stingray Robb is going to start off pole tomorrow.
Loomis looks to the inside. He's got problems.
There's an issue. That's what I think we saw going down into 8.
Car looks really unsettled right now in the braking.
You wonder whether or not a tire potentially going down, something going on potentially with the brakes as well.
Back by Loomis on the exit, but he's having a hard time getting into the corner.
Keep an eye out for Stingray Robb. He's having trouble. He's up there in the points as well. Here come your leaders through. Listishkin still putting some pressure here. He's gone back by.
This time Corey Enders putting a little pressure on Loomis to the outside, side by side for 8th and 9th.
Loomis, I think, is going to hold that spot. No, indeed. Around the outside comes
Corey Enders.
So put the D-Force driver now up into the 8th spot. This is some pretty tremendous racing. 1.3 seconds the lead for Kyle Kirkwood over his teammate Ian Rodriguez. But with that flip-flop, remember I told you it was down to about 19 points. We'll bump that up to 25 points now, the lead for Rasmuth Lint. Remember, Daniel Frost actually, as they finish now, will drop to 3rd. Parker Thompson will go back to 2nd. Still more racing to come. And from here, just, 3 weeks down the line, we're in Toronto on the streets.
And with another round yet tomorrow,
yeah,
you've got the potential for Kirkwood to even jump around Frost, depending on
there goes
scenario.
Lesteshkin trying to the outside of Canada corner to get Parker Thompson. I'll tell you, Nikita, he's got some confidence in that race car now, has he not? He's been trying in different parts of this racetrack, trying to go around the outside with Thompson defending to the inside. We're going to get fights for second, and we're going to get fights for fourth before this thing's all done. And still that battle between Jacob Loomis and Corey Enders.
Felipe Dennis continues to pull a little bit on Stingray Robb. Battle for 6th and 7th as well.
Let's look at lap times this time by, see if Stingray's down to where he needs to be. Yeah, see, he's back down to a 2:03.9, similar times to his teammate Lint. But man, the car just looks so unsettled at one point. I don't know what happened there, because he had the trouble in turn 8, did Stingray Robb. Then an issue as well, as you said, coming down into turn number 2. It settled back down. He's been able to pull away from Enders and Loomis, but it looked like it was out of sorts. Maybe he just caught a lot of marbles up on the tires potentially. I don't know. Nonetheless, he's settling back in. Stingray Robb, P7. Where he sits right now would put him 4th in points.
You actually bring up a really good point. Lost that spot for Stingray Robb in Canada. Very possible maybe went driver's right trying to get around and picked up some debris on the tires.
Yep.
And just had a hard time getting that cleaned off by the time they got to turn 3.
Parker Thompson's been able to give himself a little bit of breathing room now from Nikita Lesteshkin. But Lesteshkin has Philippe Dennis now fairly close. Dennis took within a second. So we may see a fight now for 5th instead of 4th. As indeed, Parker Thompson stretching out a little bit here. Those Cooper tires coming back up to temperature. 3 laps remaining. It'll be 2 to go this time by.
1.8 second lead for Kirkwood. Kirkwood is just in another zip code right now.
Yeah, 2:03.2s, 4/10ths quicker than Rodriguez, a half second faster than Lint. No one close right now to Kyle Kirkwood. That RP Motorsports Titus PM18 is on rails. And when you give a car that good to a guy that reset the single season victory record in USF 2000, topping J.R. Hildebrand's record that stood for so many years, the confidence is there. Kyle Kirkwood's got what it takes. Doesn't quite have the budget necessary, I think, to probably keep moving. He's going to have to work hard. He's going to have to impress a bunch of people and try to find the partners he needs to keep on with his career. Very good friends with Oliver Askew, both drivers from Jupiter, Florida. Both drivers at one point ran for the same karting operation, Ocala Grand Prix, the OGP team down in Florida. And again, trying to hopefully follow in the footsteps up to Indy Lights, as Oliver Askew has done, the newly crowned Freedom 100 winner. Truly, though, Eric, I don't think we're done with this battle yet for second spot. I think Ian Rodriguez and Rasmuth Lint are going at it. I'm not sure, though, if I was Rasmuth, I'd want to roll the dice too much, because I think Rodriguez really wants the second position. His second weekend with us here.
You know, and obviously with race 2 yet coming up tomorrow morning, last thing you want to do is throw away a car that is very stout for Lint.
This is it, too. Yeah, don't damage damage tomorrow. Talking about this program being an international field. First time we've ever had a driver from Guatemala, and that is Ian Rodriguez. Had some experience running in Euro Formula Open in Europe, a number of different categories in Europe and Italy. Really has taken to it over here. Had a pretty good run, actually, on the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but this has been impressive. Really enjoying the track here at Road America, but man, Rasmuth Lint right with him. Tremendous battle here for second. I said, I just don't think we're done. I think Rasmuth will throw something at him sooner or later. There's enough places to pass here, and you can get the job done fairly safely. You don't have to just force the issue. And he's all over Rodriguez now.
Looks to the inside in 13.
What? Looking at the inside, coming up on a
blind uphill over crest. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, sure.
We talked about how tough that corner is. As you come over the hill, the rise there, the car totally unloads. The car's rolling to the right. You got to bring it back to the left for the turn 14 break and right-hander. White flag being shown to the drivers. Final circuit here. Kyle Kirkwood leading by 4 seconds. Dominant run for Kirkwood. Parker Thompson has closed back up on Rasmuth Lint. Are we going to get a shot here for third for Parker Thompson? Indeed, look how close he is coming down here through 2 to 3. Thompson underneath the Briggs and Stratton Bridge. Rather, the Briggs and Stratton sign coming through turn 2. There's the Sargento Bridge. Let's be real, it's a bridge there. The other one is not. Oh, Thompson's close. Good battle further back, Listishkin and Dennis.
Dennis looking to go around Listishkin.
On the outside, yeah, into turn number 5.
Puts him on the inside into 5.
Here they come. Parker Thompson's through. Thompson gets by for P3. Parker Thompson back to 3rd.
Listishkin maintains 5th spot. Dennis back to 6th.
He did, indeed, and this has also allowed Jacob Loomis to come back up in it.
That's Stingray.
Well, that is Stingray, Rob. Sorry. This race has had so many storylines. Guys going back and forth.
This is a crazy battle.
Probably should put a little more emphasis on Kyle Kirkwood, but the battle's all been behind the young driver from Florida. Parker Thompson, a huge final circuit. Stingray, wow, looks to me like Rasmuth had a bit of trouble coming through the carousel, pushed wide a bit, little understeer mid-corner.
I think there's a little frustration here from Stingray Robb being hung up behind Felipe Dennis in that battle for 6th and 7th. I would not be surprised to see Stingray try to dive out here to driver's right, coming to the inside of 12 if he's got to run.
Hold your breath. Here he comes to the inside, side
Looking,
by side.
no, Dennis shut the door.
Back to Kyle Kirkwood, folks. Let's go back to that driver. And in fact, Parker Thompson closing up big time here on Rodriguez. Will we get a drag race to the line? I'm not sure, but Parker Thompson, here comes Kirkwood up the hill. Thompson's not close enough. Back-to-back wins, folks, for the scholarship winners here this weekend. Hunter McElroy wins in USF 2000. Kyle Kirkwood, his first victory in Indy Pro 2000, and it comes here at Road America. RP Motorsports Racing, 1st and 2nd. P1, P2 for the operation. Parker Thompson, that last lap pass of Rasmuth Lint moves him up into 3rd. 4th is Lint, as I said. Nikita Listoshkin 5th. Philippe Dennis in 6th spot. Stingray Robb 7th. Jacob Loomis 8th. And Corey Enders rounding out the 9 drivers, capping off the day. Kirkwood wins by 4.7 seconds. An incredible run for Rodriguez. His best finish as well. And looking at the points, Rasmuth Lint finishing in 4th, holding on to that point lead, 151 points. But just 19 points back, Parker Thompson, a solid recovery, chipping his way back into it. And then Daniel Frost still will be 3rd position, but with Stingray Robb back by just 6 points. Daniel Frost, of course, the contact on the opening lap. But Eric, pretty impressive run. Kyle Kirkwood becomes yet another winner here in 2019 in Indy Pro 2000. Fantastic run for him, his first win in the series.
Well, you look at his record in USF 2000 coming into this season, here moving to Pro 2000. No question that there's a little bit of expectation for himself to be up front, and I think this kind of solidifies exactly where he wants to be.
Well, like I said, just some bad luck for him. Honestly, it's not like he hasn't been fast. He's had great speed. He was strong at St. Petersburg, unbelievably quick at the road course at Indianapolis. Got a penalty for jumping the start, moved him back in one race, lost a wing in the other race. The bad luck's been there for Kyle Kirkwood. Not here today at Road America. He gets things underway with a victory in the first round of the doubleheader. For Indy Pro 2000, Kyle Kirkwood with the win. Rodriguez 2nd, Parker Thompson. An important pass in the final lap to get Rasmuth Lint in turn number 5. Lint, your point leader, holding on to that gap. P4 in the final order. Nikita Listeshkin. Listeshkin in 5th. Dennis 6th. Robb 7th. Loomis 8th. 9th is Corey Enders. 10th, Moises De Oliveira. He and Daniel Frost not able to make it to the end. Of course, Antonio Saravalli and Charles Finelli, as we said. Issues that were avoided them from being starters in this particular race. Eric, one more race still to come. Indy Lights up next.
Indy Lights race number 1 of the weekend. We'll do it again tomorrow as well for Indy Pro 2000. The Cooper Tire Grand Prix of Road America, powered by Elite Engines for the road to Indy.
So that race went incredible. Finally, we get our first win under our belts. It's been a long time coming. The first weekend at St. Pete, didn't have a good weekend. Didn't have a good weekend at Indy GP. Didn't have a good weekend at the oval race at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. But here, we're finally fast. Or sorry, we've been fast all year, but now we're really fast, and we were able to get that first win, get out front, and check out, which was truly incredible. A huge thanks to Mazda. If John Dunan's listening, big thank you to him. Cooper Tires, Anderson Racing or Anderson Promotions, my team, RP Motorsports, First Tex Industries, and everyone that has helped this weekend.